Wonderful.
Good. Hopefully chat is doing well. I know Wyvern's in chat. Hello. Who is... Oh, you're not dead yet. No point.
Ooh.
That's not a spoiler. No, it's just the third spot's usually... The fourth spot's usually the guest spot, and there's usually an X over that.
That's definitely a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler.
He dies.
He's gonna die.
No,
I think we're all gonna die.
No,
we're all about to die.
Who is Gary, what is your Skype? What is your Twitch username?
I don't have a Twitch thingy.
Okay, so we have a new viewer then. It's like Quills. Hello. So we actually have a new viewer, everyone.
Hello.
Right then, so let's start things off by me fixing my hair because it's an absolute state, and we'll introduce Victor. How are you, Chris?
Hi there. Chris, play Victor Lacrosse, and
What are you?
Oh, I am a cruel nano who crafts deadly poisons.
Okay, and what happens? What one memory did you take away from the last session? What one thing do you remember from last session that stood out?
Victor now likes to give nicknames.
Interesting.
Like the one he gave to our buddy Narc.
Bet you didn't know that about your character, that you start nicknaming things.
Yep.
Especially since you're a cruel person, so I probably wouldn't think you get overly attached to people. It's progress. It's progress. Yeah. Alright then, Sarah. How are you, Kelsey?
Oh, whoa. I'm next to him now? That's weird.
You've always been next to him.
You threw me off there for a second. I'm sorry. You threw me off. How dare you?
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good. So what are you?
A drunk Jack who entertains.
Okay, and what was your one takeaway memory from last week?
I learned lighting matches in dark places is not a good idea.
Oh yeah. That's where we're going to leave off, aren't we?
I'm gonna die.
Mason, how are you, Hunter?
I'm doing well. I am Hunter. I play Mason Palmer, who is a driven nano who consorts with the dead.
We're gonna get to that soon, which is gonna be
He's gonna talk to me.
The memory I have from last week is that we're all gonna die.
Well, that's good. That's always good. And our guest this week is Gary. So how are you?
I am doing fairly well, thank you.
Good. So you are playing Sven Narconis. So what are you?
I am an artificial nano who employs a cutaneous interface.
And what was your takeaway from last week?
I opened the thing that might kill us all. Oops.
Okay, right. So the long and short of last session, you guys waited for Ritz, who was the remaining thug from House Ethis, to return with an extra barrel to fit your larger piece of Numenera inside of it, so you can sneak it out of the city, not going through the official gates. Your escape route was manned by a young child whose Kelsey's little floof, Nugget, seemed to take a liking to, and did not seem to take a liking to Sven, who time to threaten Sven. A little bit, which was quite funny. A 7-year-old child threatening a robot. Of sorts. You guys went up in the transport device, which was a pod suspended between two beams of energy. And you kind of were thinking you were going to go diagonally up and out to the surface. However, the ride took a little longer than you were expecting, and on that ride, you found out that Sven Narconis doesn't doesn't really like Scarlet, who is your employer/blackmailer/savior. Which is a nice combination. And mentioning the slightly traitorous nature title plug of that Jester nearly woke up properly. However, he seemed to be suffering some sort of malfunction, and Lord Narconis was able to put him back to sleep, although things seemed very unsettled with him. When you managed to escape, well, not escape, when you managed to leave the transport ship, you guys found yourself in an underground cave system, which seemed to be half cave, half sort of metal, sort of underground layer type of thing. As soon as you sort of unboarded and took all of the barrels off, you started hearing laughter, which you had no idea where it was coming from. The room you were in was locked, you eventually found out, by a concealed wall and a security panel, which Lord Narconis, being able to interface with pretty much anything and everything, you were able to remove that security protocol. However, that also activated security protocols underneath both Victor and Sven, who ventured forth. Sven having a purple hexagon tiling beneath his feet as he walked, while Victor has an orange hexagon, leaving both Sarah and Mason behind to guard the Numenera. And as that happened, laughter started barreling down the corridor from which Sven and Victor went down towards Sarah and Mason in the complete and utter darkness. Sarah decided to light a match to see what was going on, because the voices were now surrounding them. And, well, as soon as she lit the match, a quite large, quite bony and pale hand reached over from behind her and from the dark and pinched the light out. And that's where we're going to leave off from. So, Sarah, how the hell do you react to this?
Nope the hell out.
But okay, right. How are you going to note the hell out?
I don't know. Give me a minute. I was typing notes. I'm not prepared for this.
You don't need to type those notes. These are your notes.
I have to come up with the plot summary.
But that was last session's plot summary.
I know.
Right.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I nope the hell out and just like go in a direction and hope I don't die.
Okay, can you see in the dark?
No.
Okay. Mason, can you see in the dark?
No.
Okay, do either of you have any sort of lighting equipment that doesn't involve matches?
Lighting. I have a belt.
If you have an explorer's pack, you should have a single-use glow globe.
I do not have that. I have an oddity that glows slightly with light. It's a belt, but that's not bright enough to see by. Or I can use my esoteric to create a light blade. I don't know if that gives off enough light.
No, you have necromantic powers, so it's pretty much sort of Hecarim-style light, so it's not exactly useful. It only goes a small distance before it kind of fades into nothing.
And that's all I've got.
Okay. Sarah, do you have anything apart from matches?
I actually have an explorer's pack, but I don't want to get the globe out because I don't want to die.
So what are you going to do? You have no way to tell which direction you're walking in, and there is no light.
I want to sit down on the ground and just...
You're just going to sit there. So your
Yes.
noping the hell out is noping the hell out at eye height?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Healthy logic. It makes sense.
So, Sarah... Suddenly, to your left, Mason just sits down. Doesn't say anything,
Right.
just... The match goes out. You didn't see what happened to the match.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as she took the match out, it went out, and then she just sits down.
How far can I see?
You cannot see anything. It's pitch darkness.
Anything? What about the control panel?
The control panel is faintly lit, but it's not giving off enough light to see by. It's kind of like just emitting sort of an ambient light. If you want, you can... Well, there's like I said, there's a control panel which you can try and play around with. It is Numenera.
No, I already tried that. Sven messed it up.
You do know
No.
that the cables... Actually, can you roll for me memory check? which is just a general int check.
6.
Okay, yeah, you should remember this. That the sort of what looks to be like vines at the top of the cave system. They're filled with liquid light, or what looks to be like liquid light.
How high up are they?
Well, they're at the ceiling. They're about. The usual height room is about 8 foot 8 foot high. It's about 8 foot high. Standard persons. You can kind of, if you jumped with an athletics check, you can probably slice one down if you're using something slicey.
I've got a knife. I don't know a knife. I do have a knife. Okay, I've got a dagger. I will try and jump and cut out one of the cables.
Okay.
Cut it open.
Roll.
Athletics check. 15.
Oh, boom. Yeah. Okay, so you're quick thinking. You kind of go. You look left. You look right, not really knowing where the hell you're gonna go. And then you kind of think back for a few seconds, and then they have the eureka moment from the discovery before, and you think back to when Lord Marconus had a little bit of a fiddle around with some of the cables, and as soon as you jump up, and even though you barely scratch it because your blade isn't that long, so you don't slice all the way through it, cutting it open, but you kind of slice through the bottom of it. And it pours down. It's like this beautiful, brilliant, just pure white light starts to splash onto the ground.
Do I know if it's bad to get that on me?
No.
Can I roll a Numenera to see?
Sure.
9 and 9, 18.
Right, yes. You know that it is non-toxic to organic life.
Okay, I won't worry about not stepping in it.
But there's no the room, the floor is slowly, basically turning into a disco floor. It's just completely turning white.
Can we just roll around in it and it'll be like a paint party?
Can we see anything now?
No, but can you roll for me a perception check, please?
I can try. No.
No, you can't.
2.
Sarah, can you roll for me one?
Yeah.
You can also probably roll to save for that ambulance. 19. Okay.
And I trained in it, so.
As you start looking around, you notice immediately where the exit is, and it seems that the liquid light seems to be flowing through the channels of the rock in a slight hexagon pattern, like channels.
Mm-hmm.
Like tiling on. You can actually see the tiling slightly through the rock now. And it seems to be spilling out into the corridor. But as you sort of turn around to just check everything, you see that there are about 2 foot long, thin handprints all over the barrels in light.
I don't like that.
Do you say anything?
I'll point it out to Mason.
Yeah, you two notice that behind you, that the
for
Numenera,
comments.
the barrels full of the contraband Numenera have 2 foot long, thin, bony handprints all over them.
Are they other places?
You can see them sporadically around the walls.
But mostly on the boxes?
Mostly on the boxes, yeah.
Sir, do you know what this is?
Scary things.
Scary
All
things.
of the scary things.
Specifically scary? Specifically what kind of scary things?
I don't know, just scary things.
Okay, good. Just checking.
What are you going to do? Are you going to stay in your area, or are you going to try and move out?
What do you want to do?
Let's go check the Numenera.
Okay.
Okay. So, Victor and Sven,
Hi.
you guys are out in the corridor, quite far down. You can't see the light yet. You're that far away. You're sort of down like an L-shaped corridor. You've just discovered the slug spitter, the phasic slug spitter. which is now in Victor's possession. Can you both roll for a perception check?
Yes, sir.
I
Or
can
I can
certainly
just
try.
up key like a dodo, forgetting that I haven't rolled yet.
14 for Sven.
5.
Alright, Sven. I presume both of you also cannot see in the dark unless you've got low light vision.
I
dim light.
do believe I cannot see in the dark.
Okay.
Let me check.
And I'm guessing you
Sorry,
being...
excuse for a robot.
You don't have UV vision. How dare you?
How dare you not have that one specific implement among dozens of others?
Yeah. It's not like I have a jetpack
Also,
and a forearm
I
blade and all
cannot-
that.
I cannot see in the dark.
Okay. So, as you said you sort of start looking around, you start hearing laughter and a bit little sort of murmurs of a giggle. Okay? This again is sort of soundtrack to what you can now hear is quite gushing water. Okay? It's quite forceful now. It seems to be you're able to get closer to it. It doesn't seem to be getting closer to you. But as you sort of turn around to kind of guess where the water may be coming from, because that might be a way out, you see a 2-foot long handprint on the wall in sort of a glowing white light. On the
Point out the handprint to yeah, that seems like something I should probably do.
Aw. That's fun. Do I have
Also,
anything I can roll for that?
Do you?
I don't know.
could I make
I got
a
biology.
check against my general intelligence to see if
Okay, right.
that's something
I got biology.
I will let you
Let's
do.
see.
I will say, Sven, you can assist Victor.
Okay.
So, Victor, you get a +2 to your dice roll.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
10.
10, 13,
No, you.
basically.
Okay, so 13. Okay, so that gives you up to level 4. So you're using biology and sort of general assumption here. You know that this creature.
Biology and science.
Okay, so you know that whatever this thing is, based on its hand pattern, it's humanoid.
Okay.
It does have an extra finger though.
Oh, that's fun.
Based on sort of if everything was proportionate as it would be to a human, this creature would be about 9 foot tall.
Oh. Well
Yeah.
then.
And from the sort of the width of the handprint, you know that this creature's probably quite slender. There doesn't seem to be much. There doesn't seem to be much muscle mass.
So, judging by this, I can only assume it does not have a face. We are in fact dealing with Slender Man, and we will all die.
I was about to make a joke about how one of the other players, when they ran into these things, one of them actually thought that's what it was, and I was like, huh.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you both take 1 XP?
Sure. Why
Why
not?
not?
From about 2 foot behind you, there's sort of a slight rumbling sound at first, and then you can hear giggling. Yeah. And sort of as you you can sort of feel something like whirling around you, but you just can't quite grab at it. You can't even see it. Okay? It then darts back off into the direction behind you, and as you look over, you see another handprint. And there's more
Yep.
laughter echoing through the chamber.
Well then, can I tell
Alright,
which
alright.
direction the rumbling was coming from?
It's coming from the direction where the handprint is.
Oh, alrighty then. Well, That can't be good.
Been a pleasure serving by you, Narc, but I think we're about to die.
Is. Eh.
Okay, I'm not checking chat, so don't be rude. So, what do you guys do?
I mean, okay. So is the handprint in the same direction I heard the water earlier?
No.
No. Okay. So he's going to mention that he heard water from the opposite direction based on the rumbling. It's probably just tried to seal something, so they should probably head that way and see if there's a way out through like a stream or like an opening in the wall, maybe.
I dig it.
Yep. So.
Okay, so you're walking in which direction? The first handprint? So you're walking forward or back to where the other handprint is?
We are walking toward wherever Sven heard the water from. Like
Okay, so
general
you're heading
direction of
away
that.
from the second handprint then. Okay,
Yeah.
As you do so, can you both roll for me a listening check?
Oh, what the heck? I've already rolled, but it doesn't want to repeat anything. Whatever. I'll just keep doing that, I guess. Or I get a dash, not the 0 that I wanted.
Hey! Tins all around.
I'm just checking what you guys have put into it in my... Why is your PC getting ready to restart? Okay, interesting. Is that Chris? Is it your PC actually restarting?
I think it just did.
I think it just did.
Well then. Also,
Okay,
as
well
a
you both
question-
failed your listening check.
I was about to say, as a question for the
It'll
listening
repeat
check,
that.
does awareness make that easier? Because I'm trained in it.
Will it?
Awareness, maybe. I'll give you a 3. I'll give you 3 points. Oh, someone's got me on loud.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
You probably... I can hear my feedback, so someone needs to put headphones on again.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I told you. Give me a minute.
You suck.
See, I think we freaked out our one or only viewer because it's just like, you just moved screens. And it's... Okay, we still can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I
Because I had you muted.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, fine. So...
I couldn't stop the restart. It was like, hey, we're updating in 15 minutes. You don't get an option of
No.
later.
Oh, it's one of those
Oh,
updates.
man.
Okay, right, that's fine.
It was like, you can restart now, or you can take 15 minutes to close all your programs.
Do you want to give me access to Chris's character sheet so he can see his character sheet while he's over here?
I will... Oh god, all of our cameras are all weird. Oh, that's fine. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, fun times. Right.
Chris
Both-
is messing everything
Chris
There.
up.
is messing everything up. Oh god. Like, Kelsey's face is like half in Mason section. Hunter, you are now completely Victor.
Oh, great.
And if Chris sits where he is, he's going to become Sarah.
Okay.
Good job, Chris.
Broke the stream.
I broke your name.
Rude. Okay, so Sven, from behind you, you hear the slight
Hear the-
chink of stone on stone.
It's actually a well-timed sound effect.
So it's chain on stone as if something were like falling.
Something like
essentially.
some sort of stone had fallen off, yeah, and hit the
Yeah.
ground.
Based on that, could I make a deduction? Because you got water coming from one way, and then there was the rumbling. Now the stone's apparently falling.
There's
Could I
one
roll-
single. It was just one single stone.
It is. Okay, well, if it continues, can I roll deduction to see if something bad's about to happen? If it continues.
Are you continuing to walk on, or are you wanting to stop and listen?
I
can-
think... Well, he might still listen just to make sure. That's like, it's just gonna be that one. Because if it gets worse, like I start
Okay,
coming down, he's going to
Victor,
run
can
that
you roll for me a
direction.
perception check, please?
Yes, I can. Kelsey, roll the d20. 10!
Okay, you do not notice Sven stopping to listen. Okay, so you're carrying on regardless.
Oh no.
As you look behind you, Sven, you see that the handprint in the furthest away one, the middle of its palm is missing. And you can see that there's sort of what looks to be like the dribbling of the paint.
That's strange. And yes, before you ask, he does say that in character, considering he's just turned around to look at this.
What do you want to do?
Okay, so the middle of the palm is now missing, almost as if it were painted.
As in like what it had been planted, put upon, had disappeared. It's like a chunk's been taken out, and below that, the paintwork has started to run.
Okay, paintwork has started to run. There was the chink noise earlier, like stone against stone. So maybe he thinks that's what it was. Like something fell on that and like broke it.
Okay. What do you want to do? Carry on back forward? Because you notice now that Victor has kind of like disappeared down the corridor.
Suppose I'll start after him because I did tell him to go in the direction of the water. But unless like I go with him, he probably won't have all the directions he needs.
All right. So what do you do now? Do you go off or do you investigate?
I would probably go off, seeing as how.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, things have started falling apart, apparently.
We get back to...
Hold on, I keep getting called, I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries. Well, we're moving off from you anyway. So, Sarah and Mason.
Yo.
Hello.
You guys... As you guys sort of inspect over the, items, you see that sort of there's a 2-foot handprints over the items. And you see that there's kinds of pairs of hands. Like, sort of like, it looks to be, they haven't damaged anything, or even moved it. It looks like they've just covered it in handprints, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of reason or rhyme to where they are. It's not like they've grabbed onto it, or they've tried to lift it, or anything. It's just handprints just slapped onto it.
I want to use Numenera to see if any of these devices will help us with giving a light or getting rid of these things.
These devices are not powered.
Shit. Well, that's useless. Okay, let's go somewhere else.
Do you really think Scarlet would have given you live Numenera to transport?
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Oh, bless.
Hey, I'm just saying, spitballing here, totally out of character. We got a chest full of not live Numenera, and we're in a cave that has like a power system somewhere in it. Let's just make our own empire.
Okay, interesting theory. Can you both take 1 XP?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go.
On my feet.
You hear the sound of well, so it seems to be like a heavy metal gate. And you hear it feels like it's being raised. You can hear it scrape against the stone, and you can hear what seems to be like a set of like levers or chains or something like slowly working.
And we can't see anything with light.
No, because you've got no light and you can't see it. It doesn't appear to be in the same room as you. You can also hear, as it raises, you can hear laughter and the slow sound of trickling water.
Do you want to try to go that way?
Can I don't remember if they said they were going because they heard water, or if they were just going down there and then heard it.
They weren't down there and then heard it.
They went down there and then heard it, so I don't know they're going to the water. Okay. Ooh. Is the escape vehicle still here?
No.
Okay, shit. Sir?
We could go to, I guess towards the sound of the water.
In the water?
As you're sort of in the dark, you feel forwards, and you're within about sort of 2 or 3 steps. You're immediately greeted by solid wall.
Okay.
And as you sort of feel around both sides, you are met with solid wall, solid wall, solid wall, until you get back to the corridor entrance.
Do you want to try to go to the guys?
You do notice
So
that
we're-
about half
we're-
the paintwork has now got about halfway down the corridor.
So we are now in a box, and the only exit is into the corridor where the other 2 guys are.
Yes.
Alright, let's go find them.
Okay.
This will
Can
be
I
fun, right?
can I be
Yeah.
can I give you a little suggestion?
Sure.
Does anyone have any spare pieces of cloth and some form of stick weapon?
Hang on. I don't know what Chris has.
I can, yes.
I have a bow.
Suggestion: dip the cloth into liquid light so you have a torch.
Oh, does that work?
Apparently, because Chris is looking over at my sheet. Arrows, extra clothing, a bow.
Yes,
a
you
great
can
sword.
basically. Like, what I was saying was, it's probably this is my way of trying to see if you pick up on the fact I was giving you a torch. If you
Can I
could
please
make-
just roll around in it?
You can roll around in it if you wish, and you'll just become a human torch.
I want to do that, like, really bad.
I have this
Shut up,
painting.
Chris. I want
I
to.
have this completely useless painting.
You want to use a painting as a source of light.
No, I want to.
No, he wants to light it on fire and use it as a source of light.
No, we tried to do that and they put the match out. I just want to, like, bust the painting out of the frame. Like, break the frame in half, wrap it around the end of the frame, and dip the painting in the stuff.
Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you want as long as if you're making a torch.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
So
I want
you
to roll around in it.
okay? Very different tactics, but fine. You both have the same end result. Hunter, you have a mobile torch which you can wave around in your hand, whereas Kelsey, you are a walking torch.
That's good.
Kelsey, as you start wallowing around in the liquid light, the
Yeah.
laughter kind of intensifies.
Huh? He's restarting his computer.
Okay,
now.
but yeah, you start hearing as you start rolling around in it, you hear laughter.
Okay.
Okay. Just saying, I got extra clothing. If I need to, I'll just strip and just change
Okay.
clothes. That's
Right,
all I want.
okay.
And
So
from
you-
what we can see, is this hallway just straight down?
Yeah, it's straight down. Yeah, you can see it's kind of a mix between. It fuses in between stone and rock, and then panels of metal, and you can see that there's the tiled floor as well.
Well,
Also, you
Yeah.
guys can't hear me chewing, can you? Because I'm eating chips.
Only if you raffle the bag.
so they haven't been gone too long, and now that we have light and can't trip, I don't suggest sprinting because we'll probably still trip because Drew hates us, but I think we should make our way down there quickly so we can catch them.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
can see where we're going.
As you make your way down the corridor, you hear what seems to be like an almighty crash
Behind or in front of
in
us?
front of you. Before you turn the corner to go down the corridor, can you both roll for me a perception check?
17.
8.
You see, Sarah, you see that, the little channels that you can make out with the lights, yeah?
Mhm.
From the other end of the corridor, from where the turn is, you can see those channels are being filled with water. And you can see a very faint trickle of white lights, liquid lights, in that water itself.
Is this punishment from the core game where we stopped the dam, where we made the dam? This is punishment from the core game. This is punishment.
What do you do?
I'll let him know.
Like, is
And
that a lot
then-
of water or little water?
It's a little.
From the way we're
For
going.
now.
Yeah.
Run faster the way we need to go.
Okay.
The way we need to go.
Can you both roll for me athletics checks, please? So
Yeah.
that'd be your speed skill.
Don't suck. 14.
Ooh, I got 17 in speed, so. 17.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're both fine wading through the water. It's only sort of like coming up to halfway above your shoe. As you go down the corridor, you see sort of the top outline of the handprints of light further down. You have no idea how it got there. But beneath it, where you would have the palm and all that, the water seems to be coming out from there.
Is the wall cracking and the water's coming out?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
As you start wading through it, the paint kind of washes off and sort of trickles
yeah.
behind you from your legs as it sort of starts dripping into the water. So guys, how is your computer, Chris?
He is
Logging in now.
logging in right now.
Okay.
Apply the updates.
Who has Jester, by the way?
We don't
Yeah,
have this.
he's still outside asleep.
He is asleep on the boxes of Numenera.
Okay. So at this point, Jester, this will be fun. This is time for Chris for you to fix stuff. Cough. Jester slowly starts to wake up. Completely disorientated and unable to seemingly contact his master. He doesn't he doesn't feel himself. And as he floats up into the air, he seems to sort of wobble and hover a little bit and sort of slightly knock into the wall. He sort of gets his bearings a little bit and seems to start following straight out of the corridor and like right near the top. And he actually whizzes straight over your heads, Mason and Sarah.
Wow.
You can't hear him because he's silent as he moves.
Oh, okay.
But can you both roll me a perception check because you're both showing light?
No. 5?
10 plus whatever.
Yeah. Sarah, you notice that a little something small, like maybe like a bat or something, has just shot overhead.
I'll try to cover my hair. Because
Okay.
that's what girls do, right? But, oh shit, bat!
All right. Interesting. So, Sven.
Mm-hmm.
You are. You're. Well, let's just say that Jester bashes into the back of you
Ow!
at quite full power, knocking you to the ground. You take 1 point of might damage from the impact.
I kill him.
Jester
Wait,
is.
Isn't my might already gone? Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. So I'm just taking speed damage.
Well, that's fine by me. Any damage is good damage. Right. So as you turn up and as you sort of get around, you're able to slightly easily interface with Jester now. He seems to be more accepting of it, and he's almost reaching. You can kind of feel that he's in his panicked state. He's reaching out to you.
Oh.
As you're able to sort of start, he actually initiates a link with you. Do you accept?
Sure, why not? Considering what Sven thinks is going to happen.
He goes, I don't know what's going on. This is highly irregular. I don't know what I'm doing. Fix me. Fix me, please. Fix me. 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 Fix me.
I will try my best. As he's sitting there doing this, Sven is just working overtime on his cutaneous interface, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
It seems like part of his core memory has been fragmented to the point of no return. It's gonna take it's gonna take a little bit of time for you to fix, if you wish to fix him.
Well,
But as you sort of start delving in and start seeing, you notice that some of his systems are very, very, very similar to to the ones that you found within your surroundings.
huh. That's curious.
And perhaps getting in and reaching into his mind and trying to fix him might also get you codes and access and perhaps even an easy, quick way out.
That's exactly what I would be thinking. So presumably Sven has just continued his work. He's just like, huh, maybe I can stop whatever's happening.
Okay, so you stop, okay? As you interface properly with Jester, you will lose all perception.
Yep.
Okay. Victor, how is Victor's computer going?
Direct quote from him. Don't tell me you can't connect to Skype, you fuck.
Language.
Second.
Language. I'm gonna say.
Do you just want to use your phone? He's got it. He's got it.
Okay, hurry up.
We are not a family show, so I can use all of her families I want. So yeah.
All of the profanities. The
All
other
of
half
them.
of them in Europe.
Not just
though,
one,
she has to
but
find
all.
them.
Oh, come on, we need to fix this layout. This is embarrassing.
No, don't fix it. I like it.
I don't want to be in Victor. This is
You are literally just Victor.
I just
Victor.
imagine now that the layout is kind of like a super messy room where it's like you step in something, like, oh, found it.
I love it.
Right, so I'm gonna leave. Well, obviously I can't talk to Victor because Victor's not here at the minute. So let's go back to Sarah and Mason. The water you seem to be getting quite far away from the water source now. It seems to only go up to. You seem to be more like you're stepping in puddles at the minute from how far you are down. You hear sort of in front of you that there's another sort of grinding of metal against stone.
Oh, god damn it.
You are barreling down in the dark. You're barreling down. You see to the side of you for a split second. Do you think you saw the wall move, maybe? Possibly? Couldn't really tell. And again, in front of you, there's another handprint.
Recently appeared.
You're running towards. You're running down this corridor, and there's just a handprint in front of you.
Okay.
Why do I feel like I'm in a trash compactor?
As you guys are running forward, you start hearing the sound of water getting louder, but it's more like it's flowing
From behind us?
it sounds like you're getting towards what seems to be like a louder, deep rumbling rather than from behind you.
That's okay.
Oh.
Oh, Chris.
good?
Hey, we're fixed.
Yeah.
We're fixed.
I
We're
have
fixed. We're
conquered
fixed. We're
technology.
fixed. Maybe we're fixed. I hope.
There.
There we go. Right.
Shit.
I don't know how I was able to stay in tune slightly and made that a little bit rhyme. So Victor.
Yo.
You kind of stop to catch your breath. You are definitely not built for running or walking or any kind of real exercise.
That being said, I am very slim. I'm just not in shape.
Yeah. You don't eat much, you study too
You're
much.
me!
So as you turn around, you notice that Sven isn't there.
Oh, I've been running that whole time?
Yep.
Oh, it's very uncharacteristic of me.
No.
Wait, he was running? Oh, we're never gonna freaking catch him.
No, he was walking. He was just walking away
Okay, I was gonna say, if I was running the whole time...
No, you were walking.
power
You were kind of like
You were-
walking, yeah. And then you got
I
out
was
of breath.
Power walking.
Your power
Okay,
walking
can we
got out.
call what I was doing fear walking, as I like to call it?
Okay, yes, you were out of breath from fear walking.
Yeah, it's something's around me and I'm afraid of it.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
that's
walk
fine,
fast.
right?
And you look behind you,
Nervous
it's this
face.
weird glowing white ghost thing.
Okay, you don't, yeah, but you do not see Sven behind you.
anyway.
What do you do?
I load up roll 20.
Okay, right then. Sven!
Hold on, it's up now. It's up
No,
now.
Sven, what you will not realise, what is going on is that, there is water now trickling beneath your feet.
Me?
Can you roll for me a perception at -2? So perception is going to be
Okay.
2 steps more difficult.
Who's this for?
Just a general perception check, please.
Mm.
And it's going to be 2 steps difficult than what it should be.
Dope.
No,
you
don't,
said
no,
it's
just
2
roll,
steps.
roll again, just roll again.
That's fine. I would have said just take the 9, but
Yeah.
nah.
Okay, right, so
Oh,
17
that's
minus
much
6.
better,
Okay,
but
right,
still too
you know, you kind of like jolted in the middle of your middle of your conversation essentially as you're trying to fix Jester. Jester's still senses are still kind of quite aware, and you're able to sense through Jester that there is something behind you. Yeah. And within a split second of you realizing that, your entire back is sprayed with water.
Oh, no.
And you feel that your feet, you can feel that there's sort of water rising up from your feet. You realize that as you're halfway through, as you're sort of dealing with Jester and trying to recall his memory, you notice that you can, instead of trying to fix his memory, you know that your body is shorting out.
It's going to be shorting out.
Yeah.
Because I just got sprayed through my entire spine with water, and it's going up.
You believe that since your brain is slightly less, your organic brain has slightly less compressed data than whatever Jester is made out of, that you believe that the gaps in his memory, you can probably download yourself into it.
Why not? Let's go for it.
Okay, can you roll
This-
for me? Okay, you're gonna have to roll for me a Numenera check then, please.
I do believe... Ooh, 19, which...
shit.
And I believe I have something in Numenera
Yeah,
as
you
well.
would do because you're a nano anyway. Okay, yeah, you're gonna be able to do this no problem.
Sweet.
It will take some time, but you will be able to download yourself into Jester.
Yeah. Well, if I'm shorting out, presumably my legs have, like, just shut down, so
Yeah.
time is all I've got left.
You've literally, yeah. You just have to hope and pray that the water filling up the room doesn't short you out too soon.
Yep,
Okay.
basically.
You three, Sarah and Mason, you eventually, actually, you slowly walk it. As you're sort of walking, you can hear the sound of the water getting louder and louder, and from behind you, you can start feeling more. It feels to be like a tide of the water. It seems to be slowly getting faster behind you. Can you both roll for me perception?
14.
Okay,
11.
Mason, you're able to see just in front of you, Victor kind of wheezing a little bit. Trying to regain his composure.
No time for that. Let's go.
Believe me, so help you God.
We
From
can't stop
around
her.
you,
There's no magic roll
you
then.
hear, more gates opening. What you've been hearing before, more sort of metal shutters grinding against stone with chain, and you hear more. You hear sort of more like the force of the water seems to be pounding against the walls, against the sides of you.
Come on, we gotta go.
There seems to around you. You can hear what seems to be quite a sort of a warped and warped noise, like a sort of a repeating over and over and over again.
Point out that sounds like a really screwed up siren.
I forgot to mention this, but both Kelsey and Hunter, you both had orange hexagons underneath your feet. Yeah, They have now turned to. Ooh, what's a good color? Pink. And at the top of the hexagon, it seems to be is that pink. It's like a pink strip rather than the entirety of your hexagon being pink.
Okay.
But you all have it, and it's all of them is in all of the things in directly. The line is in front of you. Down the corridor. What do you guys do? The water is slowly starting to get up to ankle height.
We need to keep going, right, guys?
We need to go deeper.
We need to go deeper.
Okay.
That
Is
has
this like
never
a,
ended badly.
what's the movie? Inception reference? Have to go
Yeah,
deeper.
that was an
Okay, the
Inception
water's now
joke.
getting up just above your ankle now.
Go, go, go.
Okay, can you all roll for me athletics checks, please?
Except for the robot with no legs.
Okay, can I have you all roll
17.
for me a... Are you just blindly... Tell me how you're running. Are you just, like, blindly running down a corridor, and if it goes left, you go left? If it goes right, it goes right? Or are you making conscious decisions as to which direction you're going?
Are there like breaks in the corridor?
Yes.
Oh shit. No, I'm just running, I guess.
Do you want to roll for me perception, please, then?
8.
Okay, so...
17.
Both, you all seem to, you're fine with your running. It seems that Sarah and Victor are seems to have more of a desperate reason to escape. Okay, Victor, you go in the left-hand corridor for a split second, and Mason, you go into the right, not really noticing that you two went in the opposite direction. Mason, you notice that the pink strip is now behind you. While Victor, you notice yours is still in front of you.
I'm gonna turn around. Go the other way.
Okay, do you tell anyone?
Well, they went the other way, right?
Yeah, so you've gone, so you catch up back with them.
Well, as we're running, guys, the pink strip, I think it's pointing the way to something. When I went the other corridor, it pointed back here.
Alright, you're a good man.
Let's follow that.
You hear one final gate open, and there's this rumbling, deep rumbling noise, and in front of you, the entire wall crumbles.
In front of?
In front of you, yeah. The laughter around you just intensifies, and out from that, a blast of water soaks you and starts filling up the corridor. Can you all take 1 XP?
Alrighty.
And that is where we're going to end the first half.
Before we end the first half, I'm going to respond to the laughter. I hope one day a glaive with fuses metal with to his flesh comes and tries to kill you all.
And then realizes that's never going to happen, and then runs away with his tail between his legs. With his newly
in
made...
all fairness, I really wanted to kill them when I was in here the last time.
Okay, right, we'll be back in
You would have to charge it in a Berserker Fury. You'd also have to not miss one.
Alright, we'll be back after what the hell has just happened after the break.
We did him and another person did.
Four, three, two, one. Hello, welcome back, everybody. So that was a bit of a shocker, I think. Hands up.
I'm shocked.
Hands up. Who thinks they're still alive?
Oh, thanks for still alive. I thought you were just saying hands up. I was like, I'm there.
Hands up if you want
Okay.
a party.
Actually,
Alright. At least someone's positive. Someone thinks they're still alive.
Yep.
Well,
This is the end. This is the end. Our first mission.
you, okay, can I, that's fine.
horrible
So,
smugglers.
Mason,
Oh, hey.
you awake
I'm awake.
to the sounds of what seems to be explosions above your head.
Oh, that's good.
You feel very groggy. You cough up a lung of water. You can hear distant music in the background and giggling. A girlish giggling.
Is it dark?
It's dark, yes. As you slowly open your eyes, can you roll a perception check for me?
Yes. 2.
Your eyes are still still sort of adjusting to everything. Everything kind of looks more like shapes and blur rather than actual objects. But as you sort of look up ahead to get your bearings, you see what, as we know them, as fireworks.
Outside?
That's when you click that you're outside.
I'm outside. Not dead. I think.
As you come to, you realise that you're by the side of what looks to be like a small pond, or maybe like a large pond or a small lake, a very small lake. You can see it's quite a distance across from it, but you can't really call it a pond. It's surrounded around the outside by trees. There's a small sort of hill to the right hand side of you. Can you roll another perception check for me?
Stop making me do these. 5.
Okay. Beside both of you, you can see both Victor and Sarah.
Oh, good. I want to make sure they're not dead.
Okay, you gotta roll a medicine check then.
Can I just stick my finger in their neck? 8.
Okay, well, it doesn't. It seems like you're not really that much of a doctor, but you
No,
can
I'm not.
feel a faint pulse on both of them.
Oh, they're not dead then.
As you get up, behind you, where the tree line is, you hear a shriek, a woman's shriek.
I turn towards it.
Behind you, you see a young man about 17, maybe 16, 17, dressed up in sort of quite festival type colours. But you can still see sort of the muted tones of them against the moonlight and the fireworks. And he seems to be in sort of a quite close clinch with a woman. And she's there sort of clutching hold, like with her arm around his waist and just pointing and shouting and freaking the hell out.
Us?
Yes.
Hello? Yes? What are you doing? Stop screaming, please.
I'll get Mavis.
Who?
Who?
Before you can even answer anything,
I know that person.
she runs. She runs off through the trees.
You mean the dude?
The dude kind of looks at you for a couple of seconds and nopes the hell out.
No, wait, no.
That's when both that's the noise of all that. That's when both Victor and Sarah, you both wake up, completely wet. Can you both roll me perception checks?
Hey, guys.
10.
What am I rolling?
Perception.
Perception.
15.
Victor, you notice that in the lights of the fireworks above your head, you see on the far side of the water, you see the barrels bobbing in the water. And there's also a glint of something reflective in the shoreline.
I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna take a look at it.
As you get over there, you notice that the barrels are floating, kind of like just out of reach on the lake. But at the side of the where you sort of stood, the shining object you realise is actually Jester.
I'll pick it up.
I'll pick it up. To be fair, it is a robot.
Jester does not.
It's a demon.
Jester does not activate, but you can kind of, as you shake it, you can hear a slight squishy noise, as you probably think he's got a bit of water inside. And as you shake it, one of its compartments just slightly opens, and water just trickles out from it.
Oh, I laugh.
He sort of, as soon as that sort of happens and is dried off a little bit, you can feel him vibrate as he turns on, that sort of slight pulse.
Mm-hmm.
He flies up into the air, and as he does so, he opens all of his ports and all of his you can see like an impressive arsenal of weaponry inside of his very small compartments. You probably guess there's some sort of miniaturization or some sort of pocket dimension or something that must be going on inside of him, because there's no way he can hold that many items.
Hang on. I'm asking this is an important question here. Are his blades finally cleaned?
Yes, his blades are finally cleaned.
Finally.
Wonderful.
Important question.
And what he does is he spins around very, very fast, and the water just like flies off. Unfortunately, Chris, you get a tainted, blood-soaked splatter onto your suit.
God damn you.
Jester then sort of wobbles a lit to the side, kind of like wobbles one side and like just makes sure the last of it's out. Before closing back up into a complete sphere. And then sort of just hovers next to you. He goes, did I get fixed?
Maybe?
Because I still can't hear anything.
Then how did you just respond to me?
Not you, I can hear you.
Oh.
I don't... What? Maybe... Oh, hello. Okay.
I'm really confused.
What? No, what? Did you just say something?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, what? Did you hear that?
No. But could you be a deer and kind of nudge those barrels a little closer to the shore?
Oh, sure. Okay. He kind of just hovers slowly over to the barrels and kind of takes out
I actually feel bad for Jester now.
he takes out what looks to be like size, like the 3-pronged size, out from the side, and just like jabs them into the wood.
God damn it, Jester.
And then sort of like as sort of like you sort of the claw machine, he just sort of does that. He just sort of lifts them straight up.
It's just a
Plop.
great mental image.
And as he does so, you can audibly hear the wood cracking and breaking underneath. He almost loses one back into the water, but then he kind of dives in and then pulls back out again. Water kind of streaming from where he's broken the barrel.
Oh, this shit's waterproof.
Plops it down onto the side.
They just said deliver it. They didn't say deliver it working.
It didn't work when we got it. It's not powered.
But as you sort of finish up, you see about sort of like 4 or 5 figures head from the tree line towards you, led by a woman.
Jester, I'm gonna have you do me a favor, alright? I'm gonna say you're still not quite working.
I think I might agree with that diagnostic. That does seem right.
Go ahead and power down, and then we'll get you fixed later, alright?
Are you sure? I mean, Oh,
Top notch.
that.
We got top notch work
Oh,
going for you.
hi. That. Are you? What are you? Did you say something?
Shut down. Shh.
Okay.
People.
No tears, only
Okay,
dreams.
right. He immediately shuts down and drops straight to the ground.
In the water.
However, Victor, can you take 1 point of might damage as he drops on your toe?
God damn it.
Uh,
Alright, I instantly don't feel so bad for him anymore.
Shove him into the water.
Hey, you're the one that told him to shut down.
I know.
The woman who starts approaching from the tree line. She's got about 4 or 5 other people behind them. 2 of them is the young boy, and the young girl, and the other seems to be an older man and a younger lad. Judging from the firelight torches which they're carrying, the younger gentleman is possibly his son. There's sort of a slight resemblance in hair colour and features. The woman in front, she's about late 40s, early 40s, late 40s. She's got a slightly sort of weathered look to her, although quite a determined looking eye. She seems to be dressed in what looks to be like barkeep wear or something like that. You can see that down her apron she's got like the stains of like beer and bits and pieces, and as she gets forward you can smell like a brewery and spirits on her as she gets closer. She holds them back, the people behind them back, and lets Victor come back over before she says anything. You notice this, Victor. Do you come back? Like, she's not. She's like held them back, and she's kind of like waving you to come over.
Against my better judgment, I'll probably go over there.
As she approaches, leaving the group behind, carrying her torch, and she looks over at you, and she just says, Are you all right?
Never been better.
You seem a little... Well... It's not been raining, so I presume that you've taken a dip in the lake.
Yeah, you could say that.
There was this large rumbling sound, but we just put that down to the fireworks. Was that you? Was that you?
Not exactly.
That's unsettling. It's probably... Don't worry, it's probably just one of the remaining blasts going off in the mines. They're it's an unfortunate situation, but oh well. Do you want to come join the celebrations? I mean, we can get you some warm clothes and some food, perhaps. Maybe a glass of ale or something until your clothes dry. At least it's a bit.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Why did they scream and run away from me?
She turns to the 2 kids and sort of whispers something over, and she says, according to them, they were drinking quite heavily, about to perhaps do some outdoor recreation, and you just suddenly rising up from the lake like that startled them, to say the least.
Was it outside recreation or outside procreation?
I try not to get into the business of the young kids nowadays. Especially since most of them keep moving away.
It's very unhygienic, guys. You should really go indoors.
And, well, speaking of which, just follow me. Are those yours on the other side of the shore?
Yes.
Do you want us to carry those in or something?
Yeah, I mean, if you got a cart, we can just carry them ourselves.
I'll get you a cart, but you guys are in no fit state to be carrying anything. Begron, no, your son, you can go fetch the cart. Yes, you. Don't. Don't keep playing this game. Alright? You both have the same name. Don't keep... Oh.
Oh,
You.
Lord, they're pulling Weasley twins.
Oi, you, the drunk one. Be responsible as a father and tell your son to go do what I told him to do. And you can go over there and lump those barrels back over to when he comes back. Alright? Otherwise you're not getting your drinks tonight. Either of you.
Ooh, harsh.
She sort of just
does not like that.
she dusts herself down a little bit and she goes, right, okay, as she sort of accompanies you as you walk off. She goes, so what drink? What's your usual tipple? What do you usually drink?
I don't drink.
Wait a minute.
Everything.
Okay.
This is...
Well, I don't even know why I'm making this sort of small talk. I mean, we've only got one type of alcohol, so you'll just have
Where's
to.
Nugget?
Nugget is with you, but very drenched. I'm going to leave it as that.
Okay.
She sort of says, yes, well, look, I'd rather you just know this now. There have been, well, we're celebrating for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
It's a bittersweet kind of celebration, but I'm glad they're taking it in the right spirits. The mines will be foreclosing soon, unfortunately. But we're celebrating the fact that House Ethis will bugger off, and they'll finally get their dirty little claws out of my village.
Your village.
Well, it would be... Okay. So, how do I explain this? Dante... Right, do you know of the Hawkeyes of this area? You know the laws associated with the Hawkeyes? Oh dear. Right, okay, I have no idea where you've come from, but it seems you've washed up and somehow you seem to be lost at sea as well. That's impressive. Okay. So, right, the Hawkeyes, brief rundown, people who carry out our laws. Okay? And I don't mean the laws that the mad old king does, because he's completely bonkers. What I mean is our laws. The ones that the people live by. And they're enforced by the Hawkeyes. And don't you start thinking that the Grapnel Guard gets involved in any of this sort of stuff. They are completely useless. They're in the back pocket of the Matricious Guild. Which is a whole nother story, which technically is also related. So... our guy called... we have two. We have, oh, what is his name? What is it? We have a guy... We have, Dante, who is in charge of the day shift. And then we have Jarvi, who is around some of the time at night. Jarvi is actually the official Hawkeye protector of us. Unfortunately, he's nocturnal and horribly, horribly mutated to the point where he... Let's just say he's more animal than human anymore. Dante is his handler during the day. And unfortunately, he's more of an accountant than a Hawkeye. And, well, I've had to step in. But, yeah, we've had, we've had a gentleman by the name of, Merchant Lord Ilya? I think that was his name. He says he's part of the Matricious Guild. But, yeah, the, notice was served this morning, and by afternoon the citizens had the party planned. I don't know what they're thinking of. I mean, the mines will close, and they will lose their jobs. I know getting out of House Ethis rule is pretty much been our goal for the past 100 years, over the past generations, but still... I know they've taken a lot out of this village, and most of our wages, but... we don't know anything else. I mean, the guy's even given us all these little coin things as she searches for one. It's these sort of Matricious Guild coins, apparently. They get you into one of their guild halls or something, and apparently they're offering sort of upskilled labour, which is just I don't trust them at all. Okay, he doesn't seem the trustworthy type. Especially anyone in the Traitors Guild is only looking to line their pockets. Anyway, here we are. She bursts. She like flings open the doors, and inside, music. Like there's a sort of a floating, what looks to be like a bird, a mechanical bird is floating, like flying around the ground floor, with like streamers for its tail, and out of its mouth is this sort of tavern type music, like blaring out from its mouth. Beneath it, there are people sort of cheering. There's kids running around playing games. There seems to be like free flowing alcohol, which Mavis soon sort of jumps behind the bar and puts a stop to. It just seems like there's just a giant party atmosphere going on in here. Can you roll for me perception, please? Okay, Sarah. Rising above the crowd to the back, you can see that there is a gentleman in his well, it looks to be like his late 60s. He stood up on the table in the back end, but he doesn't seem to be celebrating at all. He doesn't have a drink in his hand. In fact, he's waving his cane around quite violently. He seems to be trying to shout over the crowds. And you can see as he starts pointing down with his stick, like gesturing quite wildly and quite violently. The person he's pointing at seems to be quite a well-dressed gentleman. He's as you have been to the upper floors, you can tell that this sort of outfit and this slightly more overt, maybe possibly garish, borderline type outfits. You can tell that he must be the merchant lord that Mavis spoke about, who shut down the mines earlier today.
Who is the person we're supposed to give the boxes to?
You do not know. You also lost your only contact about it.
Who was that? Sven?
Yes.
Thanks, Sven.
You're welcome. Glad to be of service.
As you guys sort of approach in, you see that the barrels have been put up against the storage area by the door, so you know where they are. They are a little wrecked and a little waterlogged. So you can see sort of they're pooling a very small amount of water on the stone floor, but they're there. They're all accounted for.
I'm going to make sure nothing's been taken out of them, and then sit next to them to make sure no one messes with them.
Okay.
Is the old man just like yelling, like, "Get off my lawn, kids"?
You can tell that his yelling is directed specifically at the merchant lord.
Okay. We should go find out what's up with that.
Do you try to get in closer?
Yeah.
As you sort of get in closer, you can the music overhead from the bird starts getting quieter, and you can kind of just make out what he's trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, oh, sorry, I just realised I need to put an X over Sven.
Well, told you. Spoilers.
Dead.
Dead. D-E-D.
Give me 2 seconds. I need to. A minute. Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, something's gone wrong. Oh, I opened something up. Oops. Right, I'm clever.
Drew, technology does not like you.
No, it doesn't.
Technology doesn't like any of us, don't worry. It's indifferent to everything. It just wants to see people suffer.
Yes.
Love it.
So, give me a second. I just need to know where I've just put that. Oh, for Pete's sake.
It's buggered off somewhere else.
It's buggered off
entirely.
somewhere,
It's gone on
right.
vacation.
Okay, there we go. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just finding something. I'm going to show you something in a minute, and I just want to make sure it's all lined up.
Okay.
Oh, he's gonna show something.
Yeah, that requires a bit more jiggery pokery with the pictures.
Jiggery pokery.
Dig it.
Okay. So as you get closer, you hear give me 2 seconds. It's not Ilya, sorry, it's Iyama. I keep getting it wrong. Oh, for Pete's sake. I hate fiddling about this midstream. Okay. So as you get closer, he sort of goes, "Why aren't you listening to me? Can't you see he's just ruined all of our lives? Look at him, sat there with his drink and flicking his coin. He's got you all in his back pocket, hasn't he? All of you. We've lost our minds. We've lost our livelihood. Why isn't any of you paying attention to me?"
I think he's crazy.
You can see that he hops directly down off of his table. He seems quite spry for an old man. And still waving his stick around. He's sort of using his stick to bash people out of the way.
Man, he's a rude old man as well.
And as he sort of moves people out of the way, his stick lands on you, Sarah, like pointing towards you. And he says to you, Has he got you in your back? Is he got you in his back pocket as well, young lady?
No.
Is that true, Lord Iyama?
Just directing the question at... Oh boy, that'll be interesting.
Who's he directing the question?
The
Yeah.
dead person.
Oh, that's fun.
No, give me a second.
Or he's he's asking the question to himself, and we're just like letting Drew play.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm just making sure. I'm just getting the picture up and ready so I can show you it.
Just wondering how a person like that'll take being questioned. I don't know. This guy seems to be intent on the fact that he's a douche.
Yeah. Give me a second. Still working on it. Still working on it. Done. Oh, pressing wrong button. There.
I don't like being lied to.
Alright. And as soon as he asks Lord Yama this, Lord Yama turns around and goes, "I do not recognize you, young woman. It appears that she is in fact telling the truth. I don't know what all this business is about my back pockets or what have you.
You Matricious are all alike. All you care
All
about
alike.
is money.
That's an interesting generalization.
It's not an interesting generalization. You're the one that's funding the bloody empire, aren't you? You and your backroom deals and all that. Shutting us down. What's that in for you? How much money are you making off of this deal?
It's just as soon as he says something about funding them, just Yama's gonna shrug. It's like, I don't keep tabs on all of the other guilds.
Yeah, you have my word. By the end of tonight, this will change. I will convince them. There's nothing you can do. And as he says it, he sort of like grabs like someone else's drink and downs it, and then kind of just storms out of the building.
Rude old man. No wonder no one listens to him. Jeez.
If that were
That's the sort of thing you do if you want to piss someone off at a party. Just take their drink.
I wouldn't be like if he did that to Sarah, I wouldn't be opposed to hitting an old dude. I've done it before.
I mean, he's been whacking people with his cane as well.
Yeah.
It's like he did say that earlier. He's just whacking people out of the way with his cane. This dude's a jerk.
All right then. So Lord Yama, would you like to tell me how you really look?
Actually, it's funny that you say that because the picture I sent is more or less what I kind of picture with him. But instead of like the really frilly cape that I sent you, he's got like a business suit on. Just under that, it's just
So yeah,
armor.
he's a very stark contrast to the rest of everyone else. He's very more businesslike. His tones are more muted, but he's got more lavish-looking fabrics. Everything's kind of been stitched with sort of fine threads. There's nothing out of place on him, even if he's in here. Mavis brings him over another drink. And whispers something into his ear, and he turns around to you. He finds out from Mavis that there seems to be some Numenera by the front door.
Upon hearing that, he's gonna, just kind of raise an eyebrow, wander over to these strange barrels, which have been partially damaged, apparently.
You find Mason, a man. You find a man standing guard or sitting guard next to them.
Yeah, I figured. As soon as Yarma walks over, he clears his throat to get the guard's attention. So, as soon as he, also, as the guard reacts, it's just like, so, have you bothered to check your equipment? It looks rather damaged, and you don't look entirely dry just yet.
I checked it.
Oh, something's happened to Hunter.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
I can hear you. All in working order, then.
Does that have anything to do with you?
It might.
Might it?
So, he kind of frowns and is like, if I were you, I'd take them to a repair shop. If you're soaked and they're cracked, I can only assume that whatever you land in, they also landed in. Some of them are sensitive to water. It just sort of walks away very slowly.
Okay.
Sarah,
What up?
can you take 1 XP?
Yes.
Someone hands you a drink,
Obviously, I'm gonna drink it.
and then another one,
That too.
and another,
I'm just
and another.
picture of like a
This is
small
gonna
crowd
be-
forming. It's gonna be one of those crowds. It's like,
It soon goes down. Yeah, it soon starts that the crowd starts going around and you start start encouraging you to start chugging. Mavis actually herself gets in on the act, and she kind of like she pats you on the back and says, "I know you've had a rough night."
Well, like,
And she
you
brings
didn't
over
really have
over
to-
a small keg, like a 2-foot keg, to you, and she says, "Let's see if you. I bet you can't finish that."
Gosh.
yeah, I can.
Okay,
also,
can you roll?
being as
Can
the
you
crowd is
roll
drawing
a?
attention to that area? Lord Yarma's gonna like give it mild attention. Just they challenge someone to something. Party games.
Look, as you start chugging, can you roll for me a Constitution, which will be your might save, please?
15.
Not bad. You're able to actually down the keg, but your body's not too thankful for it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you hand me, like, you didn't even really need to do a GM intrusion for that, like.
Well, you don't know what's happening yet.
Well, I'm just saying.
As you
A worm
finish
might-
chugging, as you
A worm
finish
might pop out of your stomach or something.
Well,
Ew.
I
as you
also took a lot of drugs when we were supposed to do our, like, introductory stuff that we never finished. I also, like, instantly just was like, oh, what's this? Booze and drugs? I'll drink it. I'll do
I was
it.
about to say, it just turns out someone's poisoned one of the drinks or something. It's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Doesn't even taste like poison.
So what happens is that your vision starts to go, and you know this is pretty much about the time where you are about perhaps maybe 20, 30 steps away from passing out. Mavis already knows the signs, and she's like, she says, don't worry, I've seen this all before. And then as she counts up, she basically like cradles you up very quickly. You have no idea what's going on right now. You kind of still feel, hey.
Can she pull a Jordan's mom and be like, "You have the most beautiful skin I've
can
ever
do that.
seen"?
You can do that. She goes, thank you. That's you have some very interesting features yourself.
Basically,
and
the
she's
same
sort of-
reaction I had to Jordan's mom.
She cradles you up the stairs, and she counts the steps, and literally as she opens the door and plops you on the bed, it's that like 30th step,
Okay.
and you
Head hits
immediately
the pillow.
head hits the pillow
back of your
out
mind.
like a light.
Head hits pillow, dead. Sarah is dead from alcohol
Who's
poisoning.
dead?
Okay.
Rip
She
in
said,
pieces.
I'll be back in the
pepperonis.
morning to make sure that you're all okay. Oh, you've already passed out. I'll sort the payment with your friends then. She kind of like
Still
gently
her.
shuts the door and then comes back downstairs. She turns to both you, Victor, and Mason, and she says, I've had to put your friend up for the night. I do feel slightly partially responsible, and damn me for having a guilty conscience about this. I can put you up for one night until she's over what I kind of inflicted upon her. You're welcome to stay and enjoy the festivities. Your rooms are up, and I think yours is first on the left, and then yours is straight ahead. You can pick which one. Either they're the same room. And breakfast is around about just after sunup. But I usually tell you when sunup is by opening the curtains, because I have blackout curtains. Very important when you have a hangover, which I know doubtedly will have tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night, boys. I'll make sure I've got someone looking after your items, unless you want them taken to one of your rooms to look after for the rest of the night.
Yeah, it'd probably be best.
Okay,
Yeah.
She shouts for Begron. Begron Senior kind of stumbles out and she goes, "Too drunk." No, and she just sort of turns him around and pushes him, and he kind of like falls onto a table. And she goes, "You're clearing that up," and he kind of just turns back to her and smiles and just sticks his thumb up, and then takes another swig. Junior comes along, and he seems slightly more sober, although his lips are basically attached to a woman. And she goes, and she sort of, what she does is she basically just parts them slightly, and she says, "Right, you're working for me now, all right? Otherwise, no more beer." And he kind of just nods, and she goes, "And you need to have a better taste in men," and just basically forces them apart. The girl goes back to her friends, who then all start giggling and gossiping, and she drags Junior around by the ear and says, "You're moving these upstairs. Don't care how you do it, but you're doing it." And he kind of just nods, kind of quite dopily, and kind of like jolts back and forward a little bit, tries to regain his composure, and then he gets his other mates to start lifting them up. Party sort of gets into full swing around this sort of time, even though it seems to be in full swing. Music starts blaring up. Can you all roll for me a perception check, please? Apart from you, Sarah, because you are asleep.
I was gonna say no.
I don't see anything.
I would like to reroll. 12, I'll take it.
What is this?
Even though it's quite difficult in the crowd, Victor. You can't. You think you see someone you know for a split second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you see them sort of. You think they're heading to the door, so you follow them to the door. And as you open the door, you see nothing. There's no one out there. You can see the fireworks going over the head, but there's no one out there. So you just close the door. You guys are offered hospitality for the rest of the evening. Everything is taken care of, and you guys are up to your rooms by whatever time you want to get into bed by. You are sated, watered, and by now, both of you are probably all dry a little bit now. A little bit dry.
It's also worth saying
Fine.
that I will state this again. Victor does not drink.
Well, you were basically given multiple mugs the entire night, even if you
So-
didn't drink
so,
one.
So like you got a bunch of mugs.
I think what you
Sorry,
basically
it's
did
like a
was
circle.
actually. Can you roll for me sleight of hand?
Can I roll for you sleight of hand? Yeah. I'll put, what does that be, like a speed edge?
Speed.
Or speed effort?
Speed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do speed. Reroll. 16.
Okay. Yeah. So throughout the night, whenever someone brings you a new mug, yeah. You and your sort of your chatty rhetoric, you kind of distract them for a second, and like say, "Oh, did you just see that?" And then you kind of like either you spin the table slightly so that the drink kind of moves around until you get an empty jug in your hand, or you kind of swap them, or you like put it underneath your chair, or you kind of just
Right.
tip it out onto the floor. No one really sees you do this, but because you're so proficient at it, you keep getting given them the entire night.
I gotcha. Yeah, because earlier on, I made the joke because I craft poisons. I made the joke when we went to that first bar. I was like, I don't drink. That stuff's poisoned.
So yeah, you guys are taken care of. It's
Although
it's now next morning. Mavis, you hear sort of Mavis is making Mavis kind of gets into your room first, Victor, and of course you've not got a hangover, so you're kind of like just laying in bed and enjoying you're having a lie-in, and Mavis kind of like opens the door quite shakily, and she sort of stumbles around a little bit, and she kind of like shh, and kind of creaks, and then the floorboards creak as well. And she goes, gotta be quiet. Gotta be quiet. And then she kind of like opens the curtains, and she just goes, "Good morning."
Hi.
now I'm just getting a
Have
picture
you
of
been?
him,
How long
like,
have you been? He's been awake. He's not. What did you do with all of those drinks? Hey,
Drank them.
hey, what did you what? If you're not hungover, you're either the most amazing man I want to marry, or you didn't drink any.
Well, I have been described that by many a women.
Definitely not by me when I'm sober.
many a women. Can we just appreciate that for a second?
I hope so.
And she sort of points at you and goes, "Well, you'll owe me at some point, Mister."
For
And she
what?
kind of like
Being
goes,
your hero? I'm sorry.
"Everyone else is asleep. I've got to go wake them up. I'm a little bit drunk still, but shh."
You have a problem, lady.
And she sort of
She's not the one with the problem. You weren't celebrating.
she sneaks out.
Can my door... Is there a lock on the door?
Yes.
My door's locked.
She kind of like she rattles yours. She goes, "Why, bloody door! I thought I told you to open. Just open. Just." On the other side, you can hear the door rattling and her kind of fighting with it, and she's kind of getting more aggressive to the point where it wakes you up.
I'll
open the door.
As you open the door, she kind of stumbles backwards as you kind of take it out of her hands. She goes, "Oh, you're awake too. Good. I don't need to wake you up. Breakfast is when I decide I can make it, and I won't throw up.
Great.
So you have fun, and I
you.
will go wake up your friend. Yes, let's go wake
Do
up your
that.
friend.
Have fun with that one. That one's gonna be fun.
So she sort of goes down, and she opens your door, Kelsey. Nugget is actually kind of like sat next to you,
Mhm.
and she goes, "You're a weird little thing, aren't you?" And as she sort of moves, it kind of like Nugget kind of like wobbles a little bit and coos. She goes, "I don't trust cute things." No, no. And she kind of like goes round. She goes round the complete other side of the bed, and then kind of whispers over to you and says, "It's time to wake up."
Do I wake up?
Yes, but you're kind of although she's meant to be whispering it, it's quite loud.
Okay.
And it kind of you have a headache. You get a headache from this. You wake up completely hungover. You have no recollection of what happened after the first couple of drinks. You definitely don't remember going to bed. You kind of your feet kind of hurt. Feels like you've been dancing. There are kind of flashes of memory where you can see you felt like it's kind of your usual drunken passed outness. That you kind of have flashbacks of certain memories of what happened the night before, but you kind of can't remember whether you passed out, got back up again, started drinking and passed out again, or you just had like a very long night and you've only just passed out and woke up again.
Okay.
You are that drunk that you kind of woken up still slightly. You're a bit like Mavis, but you've had sleep. And
I trust cute things.
She recognizes your hangover state, and just then sort of goes, "Don't worry, I have the perfect breakfast."
Can I give her a high five?
As you do so, she kind of goes, "Oh, probably
Yeah, I
best
don't
not
wanna-
to talk about breakfast just yet." And she runs off down the corridor. This sort of, as she runs off down the corridor, that's what wakes you up, Lord Yama. That sort of frantic running down there.
So all I hear is just footsteps like pounding past my door.
Yeah.
Suppose like just pops an eye open. Oh good lord, what's happened? Someone's suffering their hangover.
There's within sort of about 5 minutes of her going down there, she starts shouting and ranting and screaming.
Oh, well, now it's time to go see what's wrong. So I'm guessing she's closest to my door as she's doing
Yeah,
this.
it kind of all draws you out. Interesting. I think that's coming from a hunter's end. As you guys all sort of venture downstairs in your various states of sobriety, you see that there is a man dressed kind of in sort of slightly suitish kind of clothing, but you can see that he's got sort of like armored parts to him, armored parts to his like guard. He seems to be carrying some sort of weapon. Mavis is bawling her eyes out right now. There is the man seems to be on his knees, trying to comfort her. Lord Iyama, you're the last to come down, okay?
I would imagine so. He's probably got extra bits and pieces to put on.
Did I give the foreman a name? No, I didn't.
No, you just called him
He's a
the
foreman.
like 60-year-old cranky foreman.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Just for when he turns up. Just thought of it. So you guys all come downstairs. You really don't know what the hell's going on, yeah? You know something major has just happened and something that's majorly upsetted, Mavis. However, Lord Iyama, as you come down the stairs, one of the, there's like a young girl And she seems red in the face from crying. Yeah, she seems exhausted from crying. She seems about 8 or 9. Yeah. And she points directly at you, Lordiana. And she says, "You murdered my grandfather!" And that
To which
is where we're going to end.
Ah, damn it.
Damn, kid. Quick question before we end. Old Hunter there, I assume that your room, which was locked, had our barrels in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I locked the door.
Good man.
Thank you.
So, bit of a cliffhanger. Being accused of murder. But that's something we'll leave for next week.
Yeah, Gary's not dead.
I live
Okay,
on the
I'm gonna
spirit
be
of a
honest.
really
I'm
rich
gonna
jackass.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Okay. We decided that Lord Narconis
Yeah, it's
was
like-
a bit difficult for Gary to play.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff that he would have done, I couldn't bring myself to do. Because the way that Narconis was originally going to be was basically, if you are in my way, if you slow me down, you are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we would have all
I
been
don't
dead.
Um,
normally do that to people.
So,
And it got really annoying when he was thinking.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that was another thing, but that one was a surprise even to me. He's like, roll might defense. I'm like, oh no, what did he do?
But we decided that I was going to tell you guys that he was quitting, so that you guys were expected for a character death, but you weren't going to expect a character reprisal.
I think you're a dirty stealing liar.
Did you suspect that he was going to come back at all? Until
No.
kind of I got to it.
Oh, I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird, but I didn't know he was coming back.
Yeah.
Hey.
He said he had to leave in the middle, and he was just still here talking to us. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Damn it, Gary
for
could have played that better.
Listen on the end of the session because I usually have fun with these things.
That's fair.
So yes, thank you guys very much for joining. We will be playing again next Sunday around about the exact same time. So that's 1 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST, and 8 p.m. UCT. Somewhere around those times. I'm starting to learn those time zones like the back of my hand. Apparently.
Hey, time's up.
I've
a
so
good-
totally convinced myself on that. But yes, thank you very much for joining us for our Numenera campaign. If you want to check out anything we do, it's all over on cityofneedlesblog.wordpress.com. There is also Wikia at cityofneedles.wikia.com. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We should see you all next time. And we'll find
Peace.
out what the hell or who just accused what of murder.
Yeah.
Oh no, we know who's been
Wow.
accused of murder. We just don't know why he's been accused of murder.
Well, it's because
Interesting.
Or if he really
Also,
did it.
I'm going.
All right, we can get into this for ages. Let's do that as a post-show thing. Right. See you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.
Give me a second.